So now that you've seen how we can identify a perfect square trinomial, we're going to see that this very easily allows us to factor perfect square trinomials. So we saw before that a perfect square trinomial follows this pattern: ax squared plus 2ab plus b squared, or a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And as long as it follows that pattern, it's going to be able to be factored into a plus b squared or a minus b squared. We showed that those were equivalent last time just by multiplying out those binomials. So if we have this trinomial staring us in the face, we can ask ourselves, is it a perfect square trinomial? And the way we do that is we identify what a and b are. So 81y squared would come from 9y squared. We have minus 72y. And then plus 16 would come from plus 4 squared. So that means our a is 9y and our b is 4. And then we can ask ourselves, does this middle term follow the perfect square trinomial pattern? So it should be equal to 2ab. So 2ab is equal to 2 times 9y times 4. Well, 2 times 9 is 18 times 4 is 72y. So it does. It follows the pattern. As long as it follows the pattern, that means we can just jump to the factored form immediately. So that's going to be either a plus b squared or a minus b squared. And because this middle term is negative, it's going to be a minus b squared. And we're done. So looking at this next example, it looks like we have the potential for a perfect square trinomial because 116 are both perfect squares. But if you look closely, we also have a greatest common factor here. So I could actually pull out a 4y from this example. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. Pulling out the y leaves me with x squared. 80 divided by 4 would leave me with 20x. And 16 divided by 4y leaves me with 4. And this still has the potential to be a perfect square trinomial because 25 and 4 are both perfect squares. So 25x squared would have come from 5x squared, and 4 would have come from 2 squared. So we're just going to check this middle term. Is it plus or minus 2ab? So we have 2 times 5x times 2. So that's going to be 2 times 5 times 2 is 20x. And so yeah, this does follow the perfect square trinomial pattern. So we have 4y, and then we pick, is it a minus b squared or a plus b squared? And because this is negative, then our a plus or minus b is going to be a minus b, or 5x minus 2 squared. And there we go. Again, I factored a perfect square trinomial. And you see that it's pretty quick as long as we can identify that pattern.